The world's greatest investor, the Oracle or the Sage of Omaha, is the highly popular American billionaire Warren Buffett. Buffett is more than an investor. He's a beacon, especially if you're someone interested in the stock market. Warren Buffett turned 94 last month, on the 30th of August. As a birthday gift, the stock market investors pushed his company's value to a new milestone. On August 28th, his flagship firm, Berkshire Hathaway, crossed the stock market valuation of $1 trillion. The firm joined a coveted club of companies that have over $1 trillion in market value. The group includes names like Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Alphabet, Amazon, and Meta Platforms. Berkshire Hathaway has become the first non-tech firm to join the $1 trillion club.
The significance of it is that the market, since the lows on August 5th, have started to revalue non-tech. And so if you look at the S&P 493 or the S&P 490, they've actually gone back to very close to a new high, whereas that Mag 7 category is still something like 7-8% below its all-time high.
According to analysts, it wasn't one single catalyst that pushed Berkshire to this milestone. It was a mix of factors, like the firm's strong earnings and investors looking to invest in a non-tech company.
In my lifetime, I was born in 1930.
There was one more factor that has been in the headlines in recent months. Warren Buffett has been on a selling spree. He has sold hundreds of billions of dollars worth of shares in Apple and Bank of America. Berkshire Hathaway is now sitting on a hefty cash reserve of about $277 billion. Market analysts are perplexed by what could be behind this move. So, as the 94-year-old legendary investor once again makes headlines, let's explore how Warren Buffett reached the top and what is behind his latest stock market selling spree. Born in the Midwestern US state of Nebraska in 1930, Warren Buffett had a knack for making money early on. His father, Howard Buffett, was also a businessman and a stockbroker, and Warren bought his first stock at the age of just 11. In 1950, Warren Buffett applied to Columbia University. He wanted to learn from the best in the business, Benjamin Graham. Graham is often called the father of value investing. His seminal works, The Intelligent Investor and Security Analysis, introduced this concept, and Buffett was inspired by it. Value investing calls for buying undervalued stocks. However, the firm behind the stock should have strong fundamentals. These include metrics like quality business models and a healthy balance sheet. The idea is that the market will eventually recognize the stock's true value. After getting a master's degree in economics, Buffett worked as a securities analyst and stockbroker. He started his own investment firm, Buffett Partnership, in 1956. In the 1960s, Buffett started buying the stocks of a small textile firm called Berkshire Hathaway. At the time, the firm wasn't the conglomerate we see today. It was struggling to survive. In 1965, Warren Buffett fully acquired Berkshire. Under his leadership, the firm changed direction. Instead of focusing on textiles, Warren Buffett turned to the insurance business. He acquired National Indemnity in 1967. It provided Berkshire a steady stream of cash for investments. Buffett used this money to buy stakes in firms like Coca-Cola and Washington Post. He later purchased companies like the candy makers See's Candies and the insurer Geico. As of 2024, Berkshire Hathaway has grown into a massive conglomerate with over 60 subsidiaries. It spans from insurance with Geico and National Indemnity to transportation with the vast rail network of BNSF Railways and retail chains like See's Candies and Dairy Queen. That's not all. Berkshire also holds large stakes in some of the biggest publicly traded companies like Apple, Amazon, Bank of America, American Express, and Coca-Cola. It also has stakes in overseas firms like BYD, Mitsubishi, Mitsui, and Sumitomo.
Kaiju.
By the year 2008, Warren Buffett became the world's richest man. At the time, Forbes magazine valued his wealth at $62 billion.
The stock of Berkshire Hathaway, the source of Warren Buffett's wealth, has been rising very rapidly. And in this past year, his net worth, Warren Buffett's net worth, has gone up $10 billion. Now, Bill Gates' worth has gone up $2 billion, but that wasn't enough to keep him number one.
As of June 2024, Berkshire comprises about 99.5% of Warren Buffett's $150 billion net worth. According to Bloomberg's Billionaire Index, he owns approximately 37.9% of the firm. Berkshire Hathaway has come a long way. In the last 6 decades, its shares have risen in value by nearly 4 million %. Berkshire's shareholders have earned an average return of about 20% every year. As per one estimate, if someone invested $100 in Berkshire 60 years ago, it would now be about $4.38 million. However, today, Berkshire has been in the news for different reasons. The firm has recently reduced its stakes in companies like Apple and Bank of America. Since July, Berkshire has offloaded 116 million shares of Bank of America. In addition, Buffett also reduced Berkshire's stake in Apple by over 50% earlier this year. It has sold more than 116 million shares of the iPhone maker. These sales have pushed Berkshire Hathaway's cash reserves to a record $277 billion, up from $189 billion just 3 months ago. Some experts say that these sales reflect Buffett's cautious approach amid the current market conditions. The US economy has been cooling down over the past few quarters. The Federal Reserve has raised interest rates to a decade high to fight inflation. Recently, some market watchers have raised alarms that the country may fall into a recession. In such a scenario, Berkshire Hathaway's cash reserves would serve as a fortress. Meanwhile, some argue that Berkshire Hathaway's move has more to do with capital gains and incurring tax liabilities. After it sold its stake in Apple, it is estimated to have incurred a tax liability of $50 billion in capital gains. In the sale of Bank of America, the tax liability may be between $5 to $6 billion. Experts say that Buffett may be preparing for the return of a Democratic president after the November 5th election. Democrats have been running on policies that impose higher taxes on wealthy individuals, so the capital gains tax that the billionaire shells out might rise in the future. Whatever the reason might be, market watchers are keenly following the Wall Street giant's moves. While some are hoping to learn from it, others are trying to play the prediction game to time the market.